She said, "He means nothing to me, but I found their vacation plans for two under her pillow." I couldn't breathe. I felt like the air had been sucked out of the room as I stood frozen, staring at the piece of paper that had just shattered everything. It was a printout of a hotel booking, 2 tickets to a tropical resort, with her name on one of the reservations and his name on the other. My eyes stung as I tried to make sense of the words, the dates, the destination, Hawaii. The same place I've been talking about taking her to for months. We'd even joked about it, planned for it, and yet here she was lying to me right under my nose. I didn't know what to do. I was shaking, unable to move or speak for what felt like hours, though I know it was only a few minutes. My heart was hammering in my chest as my thoughts collided with one another. I felt anger rising, nausea swirling in my stomach, but most of all, I felt like a fool. A goddamn fool. How could I have been so blind? How could I have believed her when she said it was just a friend? How could she look me in the eye and say that he meant nothing to her when she had plans to fly halfway across the world with him? Her voice echoed in my head, the soft, reassuring tone she used when she promised me that everything was fine, that nothing was happening. But this was proof. I had found what I had never wanted to find. I didn't hear her come into the room, but suddenly I felt her presence behind me. The weight of her footsteps was almost unbearable. My whole body tensed up when I felt her hand lightly rest on my shoulder. "Chris," she asked softly, like she was trying to pull me back from the edge of something. But it was too late. What is that?" She tried to take the paper from my hand, but I stepped back, clutching it to my chest like it was a lifeline. "What is that?" I asked, my voice a strained whisper, trembling with disbelief. "You tell me, Amelia. What is this? Because the last time I checked, he means nothing to me, didn't look like this." Her face drained of color. The shock in her eyes made my heart feel like it was breaking all over again, but this time it was different. This time, it wasn't just betrayal. This time, it was real. I had concrete proof. "Chris, please, just let me explain," she stammered, her voice faltering. She reached for me, but I pulled away, not ready to hear whatever words she had been practicing in her head. I couldn't even look at her. All I could do was stare at the paper in my hands, trying to force my brain to process the truth. "Explain? Explain what?" I spat, a bitterness rising in my throat. "Explain how you've been planning a vacation with him? How long has this been going on, Amelia? How long have you been lying to me?" She opened her mouth, but no words came out at first. I saw her eyes dart to the paper in my hand and then back to me. She swallowed, visibly trying to hold herself together, but I could see the panic in her eyes. "It's not like that," she said, her voice shaky. "It was supposed to be just a break, a chance to get away and clear my head. It wasn't planned to hurt you, I swear. I wasn't trying to hide it." "Not trying to hide it?" I interrupted, my voice rising. "Then why the hell is it under your pillow? Why didn't you tell me about this before? Why didn't you mention it when I asked if everything was okay?" She bit her lip as if she was trying to find the right words. But there was no right way to explain this. "Not anymore. You don't get it," she said, her voice breaking. "He's just someone I've been talking to for a while. It's not serious. It's not what you think. I never meant to hurt you. I promise." I couldn't stop myself from laughing. A harsh, bitter laugh that felt completely out of place. "Not what I think. You've been planning a vacation with him, Amelia. That's not serious? Are you actually trying to convince me that this is nothing?" "I swear it's not like that," she said, her eyes desperate now. She reached out again, but I stepped back, still holding the paper in my hand like it was a weapon I didn't know how to put down. "I asked you about him," I said, my voice cracking under the pressure. "I asked you if anything was going on, and you lied to me. You made me feel like I was crazy for even questioning it. And now I'm standing here holding this thing that proves everything I've been worried about is true." I threw the paper onto the bed, my hands shaking as I struggled to keep my composure. Her face was pale, and I saw the tears welling up in her eyes. But it didn't matter. The anger in my chest drowned out everything else. "You've been seeing him behind my back. This isn't a friendship, Amelia. This is you emotionally cheating on me. You've been emotionally invested in him for God knows how long, and I've been too stupid to see it." She closed her eyes, wiping her tears away. "Chris, I'm sorry, okay? I should have been honest with you. I should have told you sooner. I didn't want to hurt you, but I didn't know how to say it. I didn't want to lose you, and I didn't know what to do. But I can't keep lying to you anymore. There it was. The final truth that hit me harder than anything else. You can't keep lying to me. I repeated, the words like a punch to the gut. But you've already lied to me, Amelia. You've lied to me for months. You've been planning a future with him, and now you're standing here, telling me you didn't want to hurt me? I never wanted to hurt you, Chris, she whispered, stepping closer to me again. I don't know what happened. It just happened. And now I don't know what to do either. But I don't want to lose you. I turned away from her. The last thing I wanted to hear was more of her excuses. I was done with the excuses. I was done with the stories. I walked toward the door, the weight of everything pulling me down, but I had to leave. I couldn't stand here any longer. You already lost me, Amelia. You don't get to lie to me, then apologize and expect everything to go back to normal. You don't get to keep me hanging on while you live in some fantasy world with him. I opened the door, and the cool air of the evening hit me like a wave. I didn't know where I was going or what I was doing. I just knew I couldn't stay there. Not with her. Not with this. And as I stepped outside, I felt the last of whatever hope I had left for our relationship slip away into the night. Part 2. I don't know how long I wandered. The night air was cold against my skin, but it was the only thing that felt real to me at that moment. My feet carried me aimlessly, my thoughts spinning too fast to grasp any one thing. The sting in my chest wouldn't go away. I had always known something fell off, some shift I couldn't place, but this felt like the whole world had just dropped out from under me. I hadn't even packed a bag. I wasn't thinking about the next step. I just needed to get away from her. Away from the lies. Away from the woman I thought I knew, the woman I loved. After a while, my phone buzzed in my pocket. I didn't need to look at it to know who it was. Amelia. She had been texting nonstop. I ignored it, though. I couldn't let myself fall back into that trap. I didn't want to hear her promises anymore. I didn't want to hear how she didn't mean to hurt me. But as I kept walking, a part of me wanted to hear it. I had no idea what I was going to do now, or how to untangle the mess that was my life. I didn't even know how to look at the future, let alone the person I had built it with. How do you go forward when everything you thought you knew was a lie? I ended up at the park, a place I used to come to when I needed space. It was quiet, peaceful even, and for the first time in hours, I let myself sit down on the bench and breathe. The city lights glowed in the distance, but everything felt distant to me now. How had we gotten here? How had I missed all the signs? I pulled my phone out again, staring at her name on the screen. The messages were still there, and for a second, I was tempted to read them. But I knew what they'd say. I already knew her excuses, the hollow pleas, the tears she would try to pour out over text. I didn't need it. I didn't want to hear it. Instead, I opened up the booking confirmation she had tucked under her pillow. My fingers traced the dates, the flight details, the hotel name, the 2 tickets with her name and his. It made me feel sick to my stomach all over again. I could feel the tears pushing against my eyelids, but I refused to let them fall. I had to be stronger than this. I couldn't let myself drown in my own pain. Not now, not when I had the truth staring me in the face. But what was the truth? Was this just a stupid fling? Was I just another chapter in her life that she could toss aside when it became inconvenient? I took a deep breath, trying to gather some shred of dignity, of clarity. I knew I couldn't keep running away from this. I couldn't keep avoiding the uncomfortable reality. It wasn't just that she was going on a vacation with him, though that was bad enough. It was the betrayal, the realization that she had been hiding something that important from me, that she could be that close to someone else and still look me in the eye, smile at me, tell me she loved me. I thought we were building something, but I wasn't a fool. I saw it now. I was a fool. I spent another half hour in the park, but the thoughts wouldn't stop. Everything was spinning. My mind kept racing back to the day we first met, when everything felt so perfect, so easy. We'd been friends before anything else, and it was like the universe had aligned for us to find each other. But now, looking back, I couldn't help but wonder if any of it had been real. Was any of it even authentic? Or was I just someone to pass the time with until something better came along? I wanted answers, but I wasn't sure if I was ready for them. I didn't know if I was ready to face the truth head on or if I needed to keep running, keep distracting myself until the hurt dulled. I pulled my knees up to my chest, wrapping my arms around them. The night felt colder now, but it was the least of my concerns. Eventually, I forced myself to get up. I knew I couldn't stay out there all night. I had to go back to the apartment and face her. Maybe it would help to hear it from her. Maybe I needed closure, but something in me told me that closure wasn't going to come from conversation with her. She had already made her choice. I took the bus back, my head in a fog, trying to prepare myself for what was next. But when I walked into the apartment, it hit me again, how empty it felt. The silence was deafening. I wasn't sure what I expected, but her being there was the last thing I wanted. The place smelled like her perfume, like it always had, and I couldn't bring myself to step any further in. I found a note on the kitchen counter, a handwritten one, in her neat script. "Chris, please don't hate me. I didn't want to hurt you, but I don't know what else to do. I've been seeing him for a while now, and I didn't want to lie to you anymore. But please, know that you are an incredible person, and you deserve someone who will love you without reservation. I'm so sorry. Please don't be angry at me. I care about you." I stood there, staring at the note, my hand clenched around it so tightly that the paper crinkled. I wanted to crumple it up and throw it across the room. I wanted to scream. I wanted to hurt her the way she had hurt me. But I didn't, because in that moment, I realized that what I was feeling wasn't just betrayal. It was grief. I was grieving the relationship I thought we had, grieving the love I thought we shared. I didn't text her. I didn't call her. I didn't even bother reading the other messages that were flooding my phone. I knew what they would say, and I didn't want to hear it. Instead, I threw my clothes in a duffel bag. I didn't care what I took. I just needed to leave. I needed space. I had to get away from her, from all of this. As I walked out the door, I locked it behind me and breathed a shaky breath. The cool night air felt like a balm, and though my heart was still raw, there was a tiny flicker of something else starting to grow within me, a quiet determination to move forward. I didn't know what came next, but I knew that I had to decide what came next, not her.